Lost in the national election, all the results of our local elections. This is where much of the change actually happens. Police funding, housing, equal rights. The list goes on. Among the notable changes, the Oakland City Council. Carroll Fife is the organizer behind this. Remember the Moms for Housing? That movement got national attention after officers forcefully evicted that group of homeless moms that took over an empty home in Oakland. Our investigative unit followed this story for the past year. We continue to follow the story. Ultimately, those moms got to stay in that home legally. Well, Carroll Fife now joins us from her home in Oakland. Carroll, nice to have you on the program. Congratulations on being elected to the City Council in Oakland. Were you surprised by the election results?
Honestly, I was not surprised. If I thought that the results would not come in as they did, then I wouldn't have run. I think we're dealing with group of people, a group of residents, many thousands throughout the district that wanted to see a change, and that's what happened.
Carroll, how are they doing in that house, those moms that we're talking about?
We just got the permits approved through the city of Oakland, and we're in the process of rehabbing the house right now. When Wedgwood owned it, it was in disrepair, so we're getting it habitable for homeless mothers to live there in a form of transitional housing.
Carroll, I think a lot of people, when they first heard about the story, maybe were up in arms like, oh my gosh, how can you take over a vacant house? But then you start to unravel all the issues here. Is that what you're trying to communicate to the community?
That is exactly what we were trying to communicate. That act of nonviolent civil disobedience was to draw attention to the housing crisis that so many people are experiencing throughout the city, and not just Oakland, but the entire Bay Area and the state of California. So we wanted to make it really clear for people that housing is just not affordable to thousands of residents, and something needs to change and something needs to happen quickly.
Carroll, you've been a community activist for a long time. Is that the same as a politician? Do you see a difference there, or is it one and the same now?
I do see a difference. I think that was one of the key differences that created such a wave in my campaign, where we had over 700 people sign up to volunteer to participate and 350 active 7 days a week. The difference between an organizer and a traditional politician is that we are always created and sustained by the people, by movements. And I said during this campaign, if you don't get it, then you don't got it. And got it, the it is people power and the energy that actually transforms our communities.
Does the rest of the city council and the mayor and people in Oakland get it in terms of how important this housing issue is?
I think the results of my campaign and just the sheer volume of funds that we were able to raise, the number of people that participated, I think it's undeniable. The movement that catapulted me into office. I think even if people wanted to ignore it or disregard it, it's not deniable. So I think people get it.
What's the biggest hurdle you face right now as you move forward as a new city council member in Oakland?
I think the biggest hurdle is something that we're all experiencing, and that is the challenges of COVID-19 and what that means for our economy, for the job market, for our city revenues. I think that is probably the biggest hurdle that we all have to tackle collectively. And luckily, because I am an organizer and a movement person, I think it's something that I don't have to face alone. And it's something that we all are going to have to put our best thinking together to create solutions, and I'm looking forward to that challenge and that opportunity.
Last question, would you ever run for mayor?
Oh, no. Well, no, I'm not interested in that office. I want to do a really, really good job being a city council member, and that's what I'm going to focus on right now.
We'll talk to you in a couple of years. Carroll, thank you for your time, and congratulations again on your victory.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Carroll.